Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to our 233 Sabbath Celebration moment. This is not the Sabbath Celebration Hour Power, but it is uh, our 233 Sabbath Celebration moment. We won't be with you nowhere near as long as we were earlier, but we definitely take this time to give honor and worship to uh, the Almighty, the King of Kings, and the God of Gods. We definitely worship the King of Kings and the God of Gods. And here on with New Species Fellowship, we actually uh, have our Sabbath celebration at 12 noon, but we have our um, celebration moments throughout the day. Uh, in the morning, we have something at 5:33 on the Sabbath. We have something at 8:33 in the morning, 11:33, well, 2:33, 5:33, and 8:33. But the Sabbath hour of power takes place on Saturdays at 12 noon. That's the hour of power every Saturday, 12 noon. And then we have 5:33 a.m. hour of power, and we have a 5:33 p.m. hour of power on the Sabbath. And then throughout the day, we have uh, Sabbath celebration moment at 8:33, at 11:33, at 2:33, and at 8:33. All right, just want y'all to know that so you all will be aware as you come on, because this is a whole day for us. Sabbath day is our day of worship as a Jewish people. We worship God on the Sabbath. This day belongs to God. With New Species Fellowship in particular, and in my belief, the way I do things, the way the God of my understanding directs me to do things on Saturday. Now it may not be how yours directs you, but it's how mine directs me. So for my life as a whole, the way my God directs me to do things is that I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then I even work Friday up to midday. And then Saturday is the Sabbath is a full day of worship. And if I have to work someplace and I make money, that money goes completely to God. All right. And then on Sunday, on Friday after midday Juma celebration, then I fellowship with. That's my time with my family and my friends. And on Saturday, all day is God's day. Every day is the Lord's day as far as my life is concerned, because I'm a chosen one. And that's what we do. We worship. We worship every day. We know who our King is. And we know that we're owned by our King. And we know that everything we have is owned by our King. And how can two walk together except they be agreed? So we get in communication with the God of our understanding. And when I want to do something, I go to my God first and see if I can get permission. I don't do what my high power doesn't give me permission to do. And when he doesn't, when he tells me to stop doing something, I stop. Because I believe in doing things God's way, the way he says it, when he says it. I believe in doing what God says, when he says it, whatever, and the way he says it. That's my life. It's not difficult for me because it's a way of life. The ministry, New Species Fellowship, is a spiritual ministry. It is not religious. It is a way of life for us. And that's why our people are wealthy. And that's why they're given to New Species Fellowship. Because they're wealthy, because they do things what God say, when God says it, and how God says to do it. And because they do it that way, we are blessed. That's why I'm a millionaire, soon to be a trillionaire, because I do what God says, the way God says it, when God says to do it. That means at the right time and in the right timing. That's the way I live my life. But New Species is not religious. We're spiritual. There's a whole lot of religious folks, and I love them, but they just don't have a clue yet. They don't have it yet. When they get it, they're going to come to New Species Fellowship. And you don't have to live in Sumter, South Carolina to be a member of New Species Fellowship, because we have in-person services and we have virtual meetings. And then I do one-on-one training with classes of 12 based upon what they give. So I have classes that do 12 people who have only 12 cents to give. I do 13 people who have 13 cents to give. I do 13 people who have $13 to give. I do classes of 13 people who have $130 to give. All right, so that's how I kind of do my classes. But our worship service and our Juma celebration and our Sunday celebration, everything else, people just give how they're led to give based upon the God of their understanding. So if the God of your understanding is Allah, then you give the way Muslims give. If you're Jewish, then you give the way the Jews give. If you're Christian, they believe in paying tithe. But you give the way you give. But me, I give all of them. I give the way the Muslims give, I give the way the Jews give, I give the way the Christians give, and I give the way I give, which is everything, because nothing that I have belongs to me. It all belongs to God. Because I'm not only spiritual, I need y'all to get this. I am spiritual. So I do things God's way. But not only that, I'm a part of a kingdom. I have a king. My king owns everything in a kingdom. So he owns everything I receive belongs to my king. He owns my body belongs to God. So when I say my body, it belongs to God. And that's the way I live. So what we're going to do in this moment real quick, we're going to play some music. I'm going to share with you, and then we're going to get out of here. All right? But I need to have this moment.
Adonai Veish Merecha Ya'e Adonai Pana Elecha Vehunika Yisa Adonai Pana Elecha Ve'aseh Lecha Shalom Ve'aseh Lecha Shalom Yevarechecha Adonai Ve'ish Merecha Ya'e Adonai Panav Elecha Ve'honika Yisa Adonai Panav Elecha Ve'aseh Lecha Shalom ויעשה לך shalom. The Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you. The Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord shine his face upon you and be gracious unto you. May the Lord look upon you and give you peace and give you peace. And be gracious unto you. May the Lord look upon you and give you peace and give you peace. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ויעשה לך shalom and give you peace. ויעשה לך shalom and give you peace. ויעשה לך shalom and give you peace.
Yes. Thank you all very much for being here with us at this particular time. As you all know, thank you all very much. I apologize for a little mishap right there. I'm trying to get out. Yeah, but I want to thank you all for being with us for this hour 233 Sabbath celebration moment. This is our 233 Sabbath celebration moment. Thank you all for being with us. Please remember to please do your giving. We do ask that you would please govern yourself accordingly when it comes to the piece on giving, and it is coming across the screen right now. So please remember that if you have not given in today into God's kingdom, then you might want to consider doing so because you can't expect God to bless you when you don't want to give nothing, because He set up a law in the earth, and that law is the law of sowing and reaping, the law of sowing and reaping, the law of giving and receiving. It's not the law of receiving and giving. It's the law of giving and receiving. It's not the law of reaping and sowing. It's the law of sowing and reaping. So that means you got to give first before you expect God to give something back to you. But you don't have to give it to a man. But even if you give it to me, it's just like you giving it to God, because ain't nothing that I have belongs to me. Everything I have, everything I receive goes to God. I live off of $943 a month unless God trusts me to give me something more, a tip here and there. Sometimes when I do what God tells me to do, when God tells me to do it, the way God tells me to do it, He tends to give me a 10% tip. So this is the way I give, because this is the way the God of my understanding told me to give. So it's the way I give. I give my whole day on Saturday to a time of worship, not resting, sleeping. I worship God. And any work I do on the Sabbath, everything that's from it goes to God, because everything I get belongs to God, because everything I am belongs to God. My body belongs to God. My mind belongs to God. My spirit belongs to God. Oh, glory to God. You see, new species is not a religion. New species is a way of life. It's the way we live as kingdom kids, as chosen ones that are living here in the earth. Everybody in the earth is not chosen. But for those of us who are chosen, we know that we are part of a kingdom, that kingdom is not in this world. We are a part of doing the business and the assignment that we've been given in order to usher into the earth the kingdom of God. As it is in heaven, let it be done on earth. That is what we do because we're chosen. But that's not what all of y'all do. Y'all say you do it, but you don't do it. You say that's what you're supposed to do, but you don't do it. I actually live that way and do it. So that's why I'm here at 2:33 p.m. on a Saturday afternoon doing what God told me to do. I'm kicking it with the king, and I'm having this particular broadcast right now, which is our Sabbath celebration moment. We had the midday service at 12 noon. But my king told me to do this at 2:33. I wasn't even going to do it. I didn't even know that God wanted me to do this at 2:33 until 2:33 came. And you know how I found out? I was in the midst of conducting a transaction. And I went to use one of my cards. And when I went to issue my card information in, guess what happened? It rejected it. So then I got another card. I went to put it in to do this transaction, and it did it again. And that's when I knew at that point, I said, okay, Father, I know what you're trying to tell me. I'm not supposed to be doing this anyhow right now because I'm supposed to be online doing 2:33 p.m. Sabbath celebration moment. So I said, please forgive me. I put that card back where I'm supposed to put that, because on Saturday, I'm not supposed to use my card unless God gives me permission. And I just found that out right now while I'm talking to you. That on Saturday, I'm supposed to spend time in worship, and I'm not supposed to use that car on Sabbath day. I'm not even supposed to be on the site that I was on the Sabbath. Because during the Sabbath, from sundown Friday to sun up to sundown on Saturday, is my time of worship. And that means what? That means entertaining God. That's what worship is. It's entertaining God. I'm a minister about that one day, but not 2 days. So my Sabbath from sundown on Friday to sundown on Saturday, my time is spent kicking it with the King of Kings. Not the King, but the King of Kings. On the Sabbath, I worship and I kick it with the King of Kings, with the God of gods. Not the gods, but the God of gods. I worship all day on the Sabbath. That's why I'm blessed. And that's what's going to bring me to the message on today. Very clear that on Saturday is my day of worship until sundown. To spend time with God of gods, King of kings, Lord of lords. And so you ask me the question, how do you spend time? Why do you say God of gods? Why do you keep saying that you worship on Saturday the King of kings, the Lord of lords, the God of gods? Why do you say that, Roger? Because there's implication when you say it that way. But I'm glad you asked. Because if I ever say something that you don't understand what I mean by what I say, then ask me and I'll tell you. How about that? But don't assume that because I use the words that I use, that you understand and comprehend what I mean by the words that I'm using. So just in case you interpret what I'm saying wrong, doesn't mean that what I'm saying is wrong. It just means that your interpretation, the way you heard it, the way you received it is wrong. So let me get back to my message right now. The reason why I say the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the God of gods, because I want y'all to know, if you never heard this said to you before, that there are many gods. There are many kings. There are many lords. That's what I want y'all to know. That there are many gods. There are many kings. There are many lords. Some gods, all gods, have territorial reign. They don't all have the same territory that they reign over, but they all have territories that they reign over. Ain't nothing you can do about it. You better accept it. I'm not even going to get that deep with y'all today. There are many kings with many kingdoms on earth and off of the earth. Now, I'm going to say it again. There are many kings over kingdoms in the earth and in the spiritual realm. Lucifer is one of the kings, one of the lords, one of the gods that have reign in the spiritual world. But he's not the God, of all gods. But he is a God. Lucifer is a God. If you don't know that, I'm telling you today, Lucifer is a God. But he has a specific territory, and his territory is spiritual. But Satan is also a God. And Satan has territory and dominion over territory as well. And his dominion territory where Satan has reign over. Because Satan is also a God. He is, check your book. Satan is the God of this world. And when I say this world, I don't mean the whole entire world. I mean of this particular earthly universe, the earthly domain. He's the God of your body. He's the God of this earthly system. That's what I mean when I say that Satan is the God. And listen, you better listen. Satan has reign over his territory, and ain't nothing you can do about that either. Because God has set up a system and a way of doing things. And he has placed gods and kings and lords. That's why you see movies like Lord of the Rings, like the X-Men. Come on, somebody. I'm trying to help you. I'm so glad I have this particular way of talking to people because I ain't got to worry about people talking back to me. I don't have to worry about people trying to shut me down while I'm trying to make a point. I don't have time. I don't have to deal with people trying to out-talk me, not let me talk, not wanting me to be heard. I don't have to deal with that when I'm here because I don't have the interferences. So you know what I'm going to learn to do? God in my understanding told me to learn how to be quiet more. He said, that's why you got 2 ears and 1 mouth. He said, I gave you 1 mouth specifically for a reason. That's what he said. He said, and I gave you 2 eyes and 2 ears and 2 legs and 2 arms and 2 hands and 10 fingers for a reason and 10 toes for a reason. He said, I made you perfectly the way I designed you in my mind. And anytime you see someone that don't have those things or they're gone, it's something that they did at some period of time that karma caught up with them in this specific life that they now have to live with no legs or no arms or no whatever. Karma caught up with them. That's the only because God made us all perfect. And he wants us to be perfect. He created us perfect in the garden when he created man. And when I say man, I'm talking about man and woman. Because he created us both. The first Adam was male and female. Whether you want to accept it or not. Because he created Adam, male and female. I'll get on that another day. I'll explain to you why people are trans. Y'all don't understand because y'all don't accept people because you're too busy getting all involved in God's business. And when you get involved in God's business and it ain't no business of your own, you start causing problems. Because you're getting involved in business that's not business of yours. Mind your business. Learn to mind your business and stay out of God's business and other folks' business. You get you some business of your own and you won't have time to be getting involved in other people's business. I'm about to get off here. I just want to make this point that there are many gods, there are many kings, there are many lords. But the Sabbath day, for me, is the day when I worship the King of Kings. I kick it all day from sundown Friday to sundown on Saturday. I kick it with the King. If I don't, I'm always doing it. But if I'm not here online, I'm out somewhere doing something, kicking it with the King. Because that whole day belongs to God. Because I belong to God. I love that song saying, my body belongs to God, my body belongs to God. My body belongs to God, but not just my body. My body used to belong to Satan. He still has reign in this body. He just doesn't have the hold that he used to have. But I know who he is, and he knows who I am too. And sometimes I obey him too. Sometimes I obey Satan. Because I have a higher power. Are y'all with me? But I also have a lower power. My higher power is my King of Kings. My higher power worships my King of Kings. My higher power worship my Lord of Lords. My higher power worship the God of Gods. My higher power there. But my lower power, oh, let me tell you something. I know that I have God in me. Oh, but I also know that Satan resides in me. Satan controls my lower power. God controls my high power. And I'm clear about that. And you really don't want to see my lower power. Trust me, don't make me go there. But that's why I say everybody, I close with this tonight. Everybody, and we'll close our 2:33 Sabbath moment. Everybody worship the God of their understanding. I'll say it again. I said everybody worship the God of their understanding. Which means that everybody does not worship the same God. But all gods are subject to the God of God. All kings are subject to the King of Kings. All lords are subject to the Lord of Lords, and so on, and so on, and so on. Whew, this took something out of me there. Let me see. Was there anything else? I also was told by my higher power that I need to make you all very clear of some things about me that I need to declare. Because you can't follow somebody that you don't know. And most of you probably will never get to know me. However, I do want to familiarize you with me. But none of you will ever get to know me because I'm just now getting to know myself. So most of you, or probably none of you will ever get to know me But I will make you a little more familiar with me because you can't follow somebody that you're not familiar with. And you all want to follow me. You want to follow me just by the way I'm talking. Because you know what I'm saying is resonating with you. So I know you want to follow me. But some of you are a little nervous because you're so used to the comfortable, and you can already tell that if you follow me, you're not going to be comfortable. And you're right. Because guess what? I do not perpetuate insanity. You can come with your insanity, but I'm not going to perpetuate insanity. My ministry doesn't perpetuate insanity. It perpetuates sanity. So if you're going to be a part of New Species Fellowship, you need to know some things about it. Number one, I have been diagnosed bipolar. Let me go back even further before that. Number one will be that I've been diagnosed bipolar because I have been diagnosed bipolar. All right. So keep that in mind. But let me go back further before that. I want you to know one thing, that I am not perfect. And I know I'm not perfect. That's the one thing I really want y'all to know. I am not perfect, and I know I'm not perfect because I live in the flesh. And anybody that lives in the flesh isn't perfect. So I want y'all to know that. I want y'all to know that I am bipolar. No, I still want to go back further and let y'all know that I am a person that I am not a liar most of the time. I lie sometimes. I do. Sometimes my lower power tempts me to lie, and sometimes I fall prey to my lower self, to the Satan in there. Sometimes I do. But I try my best that 90% of the time, I try my best that 90% of the time that I am doing things the way my higher power wants me to do it. But because I'm not perfect, sometimes I fall prey to the other stuff. But one thing I make sure of now in my life is to make sure that I keep God first. That I keep the God of gods first, the King of kings first. The one whose name is too holy to really be naming. That one. That I worship on the Sabbath. That one. I want y'all to know that. Now, anything I'm saying that you need to go back and listen to again, let's just do it again. But repeat what I said and not what you heard. Because there is a difference. What I say and what you hear are two different things. So, I need y'all to know I have been diagnosed bipolar. I haven't been diagnosed schizophrenic. I have been diagnosed with depressive disorder, and I have been diagnosed bipolar. Those two things I have been diagnosed as. Okay, that's the reason why I'm on disability, because of that. I'm not disabled, but that's why they give me a check, because I suffer from depression disorder and I'm bipolar. But I've also been diagnosed HIV positive, which means I take medication for it. I've been diagnosed a stroke survivor. I've been diagnosed as having CKD, fifth, fifth, fifth stage CKD, end stage renal failure. I've been diagnosed with that. They want to talk to me about giving me dialysis or that other type of thing, but put me on some form of dialysis. I have an appointment coming up where I have to go for a consultation about them putting the ports in me, whether I'm going to do it at home or whether I'm going to do it being 3 days a week at the hospital. I believe I'm going to do it at home. That's why I'm getting my house sterilized. But because I have dogs, I don't know if it's going to be sterile enough. But I believe it would be that if I have to go down to that's what I'll do. So I have to at least prepare for it, even if I never have to do it. I've also been diagnosed as morbidly obese. I've been diagnosed morbidly obese. I've been diagnosed with herpes, and I have been diagnosed with herpes, HIV, and syphilis. Now, the syphilis has been treated, so I'm celibate anyhow, so you're not going to get no syphilis from me anyhow. But it's been treated and it's stable as far as that's concerned. And so even the test is going to always come up positive. It's still taken care of and it's being treated. That's the same with HIV. I'll always diagnose properly as HIV positive, but because I'm undetectable, even if you had sex with me, there's no way that you would get the virus because I'm undetectable, and undetectable means untransmittable. Check it out. Read it up for yourself. Undetectable means untransmittable. But I am HIV positive. I will always probably diagnose as being HIV positive, and that's fine, but I'll take medication for it. I told you I've been diagnosed bipolar. I told you I've been diagnosed with major depressive disorder. What I didn't tell you is that they have not yet diagnosed me with schizophrenia, but I am schizophrenic. But for the depression, for the bipolar, and for the schizophrenia, I need you to know that I take really good care of myself. I'm on medication. For depression, I'm on medication for bipolar, and I'm on medication for schizophrenia. And as long as I take my medicine, I'm fine. You won't have a problem with me. But one of my medications that I take is marijuana. I smoke green. I smoke green. I smoke the tree. I smoke the ganja. So yes, I'm a rabbi. Yes, I'm an imam. Yes, I'm an apostle, prophet, evangelist, pastor, teacher, and many other things. A business owner. I'm many other things with that stuff. But I am that. But as long as I take my medicine for bipolar and schizophrenia and depression, then I'm not going to bother nobody. I just ask that you don't bother me. Are y'all with me? You don't have to worry about me being a threat to you, or you don't have to be afraid of me. You don't have to even worry about wanting to make me go to a psychiatric ward again, because I've been there twice. I don't take the medicine they give me, but I do take my medicine, and I'll tell y'all what my medication is that I take for me, for my schizophrenia, for my bipolar, and for depression, and they work well for me. But there are also some other things I take. I can't give it to you because it hasn't been put through the FDA yet. It will be going through to the FDA to be tested. And when it does, I'll make it available to you, but I'm not going to make it available to everybody. But it will before I make it available. There are two products that I have that help me with my schizophrenia, with my bipolar, and they're natural things. Well, one of them is natural. The other one ain't quite all natural, but still, when I put them together, and I'm going to be presenting it to the FDA to check out, to see, and to try it out and do trials, to see how this helps other people who are suffering from schizophrenia and suffering from bipolar and depression, and even the side effects of being HIV positive and being a stroke survivor and having CKD and diabetes. The medicine that I take, one of them I create, two of them. One of them I created is called a blend. It's a blend that I have created. So I do smoke green trees for my to help keep me well from schizophrenia, from bipolar, and from depression. And I do that in my house because it's not legal outside of my house. It's not legal. So that's why until it's legal, I'm not even going to share with you. But weed, though it's not legal in the state of South Carolina, because I take it for medicinal purposes, I do participate of the green, but I only do it at home, in the comforts of my own home, and normally by myself. Every now and then I do it socially with somebody, but that's that. That's going to change too eventually. But I just want y'all to know that. So those are just things about me. If you can handle those things, I'm a recovering sex addict. I am a recovering codependent. I'm a recovering, I'm not perfect, but I'm a recovering food and sugar addict. I had a lot of stuff wrong with me. I had a major spiritual dilemma. But now that I have gotten to this place where I am now, this state of wellness, spiritually, mentally, as well as physically, I'm working even physically to try to get better physically. I'm much better. I am a multiple stroke survivor, but because I am a multiple stroke survivor, that is why you hear this slur in my speech from time to time. Usually it's when I'm very tired and then I don't enunciate and pronounce my words as specifically as I probably should. But when I get tired, I don't. But I'm working on that. I used to be a singer, but I don't have the register I used to have. So I just want y'all to know that if you go and follow our ministry, you know you follow someone that's gonna always keep it honest with you. I'm selfish sometimes. Sometimes I'm happy. Sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I go through moments of depression. Sometimes I'm good. Sometimes I'm up. Sometimes I'm down. Sometimes I'm almost level to the ground. But if you can follow someone who's telling you that they're bipolar, but they take medicine for it. If you can follow me, then now you will never be able to say you didn't know all this shit about me. I want y'all to know not only the good about me, but I'm telling you myself the shitty part about me. Because everything about Kenton Rogers ain't wonderful peaches and cream. Spiritually, it is, and wasn't even always that. But spiritually, it. But this body, oh my God! Even though this body belongs to God, this body be giving me some problems. So y'all just pray for me that I get better. Okay. But I'm much better than what I was. But as long as I take my medicine, I'm good. You don't have to worry about, I know how to handle my schizophrenia. I know how to deal with my bipolar. I know how to deal with depression, the HIV, the stroke symptoms, little residue from having the stroke, the CKD, diagnosis, the diabetes, the morbid obesity. Listen, I was 350 pounds. I'm now down to 300, and I'm working by within the next 12 months. My goal is to lose another 120 pounds, and I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to try to lose it. I'm going to lose 120 pounds within the next 12 months. That's 10 pounds a month. If you all would like to be a part of that journey with me, I'm looking for 13 people who will take that journey with me to lose 120 pounds in the next 12 months. However, if you're going to be a part, you're going to have to spend some money because I don't do things with cheap folks or broke folks. So you're going to have to get something. Well, I do something with broke folks, but my preference is not to be around poor folks. I love poor folks. I give to poor folks. I do for poor folks. But I don't want to hang around poor folks that have a poor man's mentality. Only poor folks I want to hang around are people that want to do better, that want to be free from that slave mentality. I want to be around people who no longer want to be a nigger because there are people out here who are niggers. Because you look up the word what nigger means. And let me tell you something. If Facebook tries to block me from using the word nigger, I'm going to sue them. That's all. Because the word nigger is a word. And it means what it means. Ignorant. Slave mentality. Always want a handout. Don't ever want to give nothing. That person is, if they're not a slave, they still have a slave mentality. And I don't want to hang around people with a slave mentality that are ignorant, that think they know more than what they need to learn. Because if you know more than me, you don't need to be around me. I hang around people. I do have people in my life that know more than me, and I hang around them because they know more than me. But people that hang around me, if you are poor, if you are broke, if you are a nigger, and I'm going to start a show, it's going to be called "I Can Tell If You're a Nigger in less than 60 seconds." That's going to be the name of a show that I'm going to be having here on the NSF network and as well on the KRL network and the KRWB network. I'm going to run them on a few different networks that I own. And that show is going to be called "I Can Tell If You're a Nigger in 60 Seconds or Less." And here's what the key is on. If I can, I'll pay you. Watch for it and wait for it. The show that's coming up soon that I'm going to be hosting called "I Can Tell If You're a Nigger in 60 Seconds or Less." And if I can't, I will pay you. But you're going to have to be willing to answer whatever questions I ask you. Total transparency and total honesty. All right? So I'll close with this about the 2 hands, 2 legs, 2 ears, 2 eyes, 1 mouth for a reason. That means you're supposed to be doing more listening than talking, more walking than talking, more listening, more feeling, more seeing than talking. You're supposed to see more than you talk about. You're supposed to know more than you talk about. You're supposed to hear more than you talk about. You're supposed to walk more than you talk about. You're supposed to do more with your hands than you talk. That's why you have 1 mouth and 2 of those other things. All right? So that means basically you need to start studying to be quiet. That's what I'm doing. I'm studying to be quiet. Since nobody didn't want to listen to me, my family won't listen to me, my friends don't want to listen to me, my nieces, my nephews don't want to listen to me, and it's all right. Because now, since you wouldn't listen to me when I wanted to be heard, then in order for you to get me to talk, either the God of gods, let me be clear with you, since you wouldn't listen to me when I wanted to be heard and wanted to talk, then I'm going to start studying to be quiet. And I'm not going to open my mouth. How are you all going to then put me in the hospital for being crazy when I simply do nothing but stay home in my room, smoking weed, spending time with God, running my businesses, and not bothering y'all as long as I'm taking my medicine? The police can't arrest me here. The feds can't come into my house. They could, and if they did, I wouldn't even have a problem. Because I'm already telling folks, I smoke weed, so that means I'm gonna have weed here if you come. Right. And I told you I have a blend of my own. And it's called this, that, ish. DDI. Sometimes I smoke DDI and sometimes I smoke straight up green. But because I'm making the world know about it, can't nobody say I'm lying. And there is no law against me smoking DDI. And even though there is a law against marijuana smoking in South Carolina, because I do it in my house, as long as I'm doing my house and on my property, ain't nothing nobody can do about it. They can't even do nothing to my family about it. But before I start taking it out to the public, I have to go to the FDA. And the FDA is going to do a trial because what I give out to people who come into my clinic. My clinic, people that pay me to be their doctor. But I'm not a medical doctor, I'm a spiritual doctor. I'm a spiritual doctor. So when you're a spiritual doctor, you don't get degrees like everybody else get because you're spiritual. You got a spiritual degree. If you're not spiritual, you can't even read it. You have to be spiritual to recognize that I'm a spiritual doctor. And I can give treatment to my patient based upon what my spirit leads me to do. But you have to be willing to sign a consent for treatment. As long as I do that, I'm good. And I can give you a prescription or the medicine that I create or the blend or the I am that I am miracle tonic. I can give it to you in my place. You can take it when you're here, but you can't take it when you leave off the property. And if you leave off the property and the police is waiting out there or the feds are waiting out there to get you, guess what? That's on you. That I'll lose all liability. But in order for me to take patients, the patients that I see, some of them pay me $13,000.13 to get into my office. So if you're willing to pay the price, I'll treat you. But I don't treat poor folks unless my higher power tells me to. And the God of God tells me to. And in that case, you still have to pay me. It's free, but you have to give me something. And you have to give before I treat you. I don't treat nobody that does not pay me before treatment. I don't do that. I used to, but I don't do that no more. Even if I'm doing it for free. Free to me means, when I say free, that's what I tell you. You have to understand what I mean by what I say. When I use the word that I'm going to do it for you for free, what I mean by free is that you're going to give me something that I'm okay with receiving before I give you treatment. But if you are one of my patients, because I am a spiritual doctor, and my clinic is called the Healing Clinic, we treat people spiritually, mentally, as well as physical stuff. We help people with. I'm using my own stuff to lose weight myself, my own protocol. And I have lost over 50 pounds now. So I know what I use works. I'm like Reverend Knight. You can't lose with the stuff I use. But you already losing with the stuff you use. So I don't even want to be bothered with you. I don't give a fuck what y'all think about me. I've overcome that in my life. But I love you all. All right. I went on a little longer than what I intended. I'll come back another day and I'll share with you some things maybe later on today at our 5:33 evening glory. Our 5:33 evening Sabbath celebration. All right. Our 5:33 evening glory Sabbath celebration at 5:33. I'll be back. Please make sure, if whether you're listening to this now or later, please make sure that you give your donation, and that remember that all donations are tax deductible and greatly appreciated, even when I serve you as your spiritual doctor, because I do it under the umbrella of our not-for-profit organization, which is NSFNetwork Incorporated. And even those, what you give is actually tax deductible as well. Okay, your time with me is tax deductible because of that. Okay, if the government demands that I start collecting taxes for those owners, then you will have to pay. But as long as the government doesn't demand that I receive taxes from you for my spiritual services, then they're free. But they're free for the poor. But my word free means what? You won't give me something before I treat you. For the other people, you give accordingly. I have some people who are not necessarily. Listen, if you give me, it can only give me $13, you're poor. If you only give me, if I have to do with you on a sliding scale, the free scale, you're poor. If I have to give it to you for $130, you're poor. If I have to give it to you for $1,300, as far as I'm concerned, you're middle class. You're middle class. all right, you're middle class. If I have to give it to you for 1,300, if I have to give it to you for 13,000, you're rich. You're rich. People that can get my services for 13,000, they're rich. But those people who give me 130,000 for my service, they're rich too. But those people who give me 13 million for a session, or 13 billion for a session, or anywhere up there further, they are wealthy. All right. So that's all I have to say. I love you. God bless you. I'm about to get on here. Let's have a word of prayer. We thank you very much, Father. We give you this time today. And we're so grateful that we have had the opportunity to spend with you all day long, kicking it with the King of Kings. You are so wonderful and so mighty, and you're so precious. And we love you with all of our heart and with all of our soul. Just continue to walk with us and be with us as we continue to worship you during the remainder of this Sabbath day, a day that we give totally to worship you and to spend time with you, loving God, because we know that God is love and love is God. And we're able to get along with all people. We love you, God. We thank you for the message today that has come forth. Because your people have received and that it resonates with them. And not only that it resonates, but as they receive, that they learn how to give. Because their giving is not for you, God. You don't need their money, but they need to give for themselves. And we say thank you and we say amen. All right, we're out of here. This is Jewish Dance.
Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, Hashem. Thank you, שתהיו בריאים, כולנו עונים אמן. הטוסט אליי, הטוסט אליי, הטוסט אליי. זה לחיים לחיים.
is better for attracting more money in abundance, the law of attraction or manifestation? Well, according to science, the answer is something completely different. The key lies hidden in our subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is where all our beliefs, habits, emotions, and memories are stored. And if you have any negative or limiting beliefs about money or abundance, they'll actually block you from receiving the wealth, the prosperity, the happiness you desire. But rest assured, there's a solution to this, and it's easier than you think. And I'm going to share that with you here in just a second. But first, let me introduce myself. Transformation, success for nearly 50 years. I've helped thousands of people like yourself overcome their limiting subconscious beliefs, rewire their brains for greater abundance, and create amazing results in their life. I'd love to help you too. So in order to overcome these negative limiting beliefs about money, you want to identify the exact internal limiting thought patterns that are holding you back. And then you want to break free from these limiting thought patterns by installing new and expansive thought patterns that will actually raise your vibration, shift your awareness, and attract the financial flow, joy, abundance that you desire. And this is exactly what I'm going to teach you how to do in just a moment, because I believe that abundance is what life wants to express into and through all of us. Life is abundant, and you deserve to manifest the type of abundance that you want in your life. And whether that's greater financial success or more time freedom to go on vacations, more vibrant health, the ability to help your loved ones financially, whatever it is. And that's why I'm inviting you to join me in my free masterclass, where you and I are going to spend some dedicated time and we'll work on this together. And I'm going to reveal 3 of the most sabotaging subconscious blocks that will keep you absolutely from attracting more money and abundance in your life. I'm also going to show you the proven methods and the powerful tools for breaking free from these limiting money mindset blocks, and then how to rewire your brain for easily attracting the abundance and the lasting success you want. So join me in my masterclass. First of all, it's free, but it's only available for a limited time. We have some spots, but they're filling up fast. So click below right now. Go ahead, reserve your spot today. It's completely free, and I know it will help. So I'll see you in class.
זה הזמן להודות ולהתפלל, להרים את הכוסית וגם לאחל ולברך על ההמשך שניפגש בשמחות. הטוב אולי זה לחיים לחיים עד 120 אם דעות ישרים. הטוב אולי שתהיו בריאים כולנו עולים אמן. הטוב אולי everybody say, Father, see you in the love, let's say you love me. Happy no be a let's say you love me. Happy no be a love, let's say you love me. Happy no be a let's say you love me. Me, who said, me, who said, he said, who said, Elohim. Jeder eine Daten immer recht, immer was von Messias. Wird doch kimmen, was wir verdrucken sind. Jeder eine Daten immer recht, immer was von Messias. Wird schon kimmen, nur der was dir in die Reihe.
והתהלך בארץ הקדושה. קום והתהלך בארץ הקדושה, בארץ אשר הרקע. קום והתהלך בארץ הקדושה. קום והתהלך בארץ הקדושה, בארץ אשר הרקע. Yama yama yama, yama baketma, yama yama yama, sakona baleba. Kiet kol haaretz asher ata roeh, lecha lecha etnena et eretz Yisrael. Yama yama yama, yama baketma, yama yama yama, sakona baleba. Kiet kol haaretz asher ata roeh, lecha lecha etnena et eretz Yisrael.
With TD Complete Checking, Gina's ready to live her best life. Finding a job she loves and someone to love. Building a home together and a family together. TD Complete Checking for all life's adventures.
זה הניגון שבא בי, אני פתאום רוצה לשיר, כי השמחה גדולה מאוד, הלילה בא לי רק לבכות, זה משהו לא נורמלי, שהשמחה עושה לי, הכל בנשמה, הלב עומד תודה, זה משהו לא נורמלי, שהשמחה עושה לי, הכל באמונה, feel the magic in the air, ale, 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 בתוך הלב פועל, ale, 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 feel the magic in the air, ale, 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 בתוך הלב פועל, ale, 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 feel the magic in the air, ale, 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 בתוך הלב פועל, ale, 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 feel the magic in the air, ale, 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 בתוך הלב פועל, ale, 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 feel the magic in the
במרחב הפתוח, רואים באופק את השמש, צפית אני בטוח, בסוף התקווה נרדמת. אלא אתה, סיבת הסיבה, מילת העילות, נורת העילות, ורק לך אין להודות, כל הימים, בכל הלילות. רק אתה, סיבת הסיבות, מילת העילות, נורת העילות, ורק לך נאה להודות, על כל הימים, בכל הלילות. אלא אתה, סיבת הסיבות, סיבת הסיבות, סיבת הסיבות, אלא Let's go.
השם אלוקים והגדלנו בתודה, הלל השם אלוקים והגדלנו בתודה, י' וו' השם אלוקינו השם אחד, י' וו' השם אלוקינו השם אחד, השם אלוקינו השם
Need a UGC video for your business? Find me and many other skilled creators on Fiverr. Or you could grab a top camera, add good lighting to make everything pop. Learn the latest trends, stay updated, videos change fast. Plan your content, be consistent and creative. Know your platforms, adapt your content. Each one's different. Edit like a pro, cut, trim, and polish. Make it shine, but not too shine. It's still user-generated content. Or just find your next creator on Fiverr.
The future is not just going to happen. You have to make it. And if you want a successful business, all it takes is an idea. And now becomes the future. A future where you grew a dream into a reality. It's waiting for you mere minutes away. The future is nothing but power. And it's all yours. The all-new GoDaddy Aero. Get your business online in minutes with the power of AI.
שמעתי שעושים פה מסיבה בלעדיי, אף אחד לא עושה את זה יותר טוב ממני. היי, נשים את הצרות מאחוריי, אני לא הולך עד שכולכם מג'נונים.
היי, שמעתי שהתחלתם בלעדיי, אף אחד לא עושה את זה יותר טוב ממני. היי, הראש כבר מסתובב כולם בהיי, לא נעצור עד שכולכם מג'נונים. תרימו לי להיט, תרימו לב עולה, הקצב כאן עולה.
מהפכה של שמחה, כי כולנו משפחה,
ונרקוד בטירוף, כי הגיע הזמן לעוף.
מעכשיו רק שמחה, משקיעה והצליחה.
השתגענו מודים, אם שותים כן רוקדים.
Let me see you move.
All the party people, let me see you move.
מהפכה של שמחה, כי כולנו משפחה,
ונרקוד בטירוף, כי הגיע הזמן לעוף.
מעכשיו רק שמחה, משקיעה והצליחה.
השתגענו מודים, אם שותים כן רוקדים. עד שהבוקר במסיבה גדולה הלילה, אז בואו נשתולל. לא נפסיק בהגייה, עד שהבוקר במסיבה גדולה הלילה, אז בואו נשתולל.
בוא ננגן אותה שפניתי, אתה יודע, רגע כזה שכולו אמיתי, אתה שומע, אחי אני כאן בשבילך לתמיד, ומי אנחנו? שבט אחים עם מלא הפכים, אל תתייג אותנו, כל הכוונה לטובה שתבוא, אחי תבקש זה עלינו יבוא, תראה הכל מוכן כאן בשבילנו, הייתי בשורף זה יעבור, ועכשיו שם נדלק האור, אחי עוד שטויות תדליק אותנו. תגיד לי מי לא יבוא, עכשיו לשיר איתנו. תגיד לי מי לא יבוא, תגיד לי מי לא יבוא, זאת השנה שלנו. תגיד לי מי לא יבוא, תגיד לי מי לא יבוא, עכשיו לשיר איתנו. תגיד לי מי לא יבוא, תגיד לי מי לא יבוא, זאת השנה שלנו.
טוב להודות לשם, ולזמר לשמך עליון. טוב להודות לשם, טוב להודות לשם, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. להגיד בבוקר חסדך ואמונתך בלילות. כולם חזק ידיים למעלה יאללה.
Oh, what is it you're holding? A cookie? Well, I saw that coming.
Noia was a big tzaddik. Noia was a big tzaddik. From his capital till his pizza. Neujahr was a big Saturday. Every year's a big Saturday. Every year's a big Saturday. From his capital till his pizza. Every year's a big Saturday. Every year's a big Saturday. Every year's a big Saturday. From his capital till his pizza. Every year's a big Saturday. My feeling something. We are my freedom something. We are my freedom something. We are my freedom something.
יש אנשים שלא מרגישים בלהבה שבוערת מבפנים, היא בתוך הנשמה מהירה וחמה. יש אנשים המחפשים את האורות במקומות הרחוקים, את הניצוץ התמידי שבכל יהודי. והסוף מלבדו יבוא, אז ניתן יד ביד ונחבור. Find the light to fire now. תדליק את האש, תגידי אם יש, נאיר את הלילה, הלילה כולו. תדליק את האש, תגידי אם יש, נשיר עד הבוקר, הבוקר יבוא. תדליק את האש, תגידי אם יש, נאיר את הלילה, הלילה כולו. תדליק את האש, תגידי אם יש, נשיר עד הבוקר, הבוקר יבוא. תדליק את האש, תדליק את האש. the kids. We hope for the day when the whole world will stand up and say, Raz, ma, three, хорошо, slava Bogu, хорошо, from the bottom of my heart, from the finish to the start. Хорошо, life is holy, life is pure, and every note I sing it's you I'm singing for. Хорошо, slava Bogu, хорошо, for the blessings in my life, for my Ashes Chayil wife. Хорошо, every hour,